Hey everyone, welcome to another chat about hydrangeas where we are trying to break down the different groups of hydrangeas for you the best that we can.
Okay, so today I'm very happy that we're going to talk about mountain hydrangeas.
Yes.
Because that is some of the hydrangeas that I've been just trying so hard to bring into the garden. You know, we had to get rid of some of
Yes, we
one.
did.
One. I only had one in the past and I wanted to bring them so bad. And there was one that I was like hunting down that I couldn't find anywhere, and that is tiny, tough stuff.
Yes.
Hydrangea. And then we will also be talking about
tough stuff hydrangea, which I love these hydrangeas. I wasn't a big fan of it before because they were lacecap hydrangeas, but I am now.
So these bloom on old wood and new wood.
Yes.
These type of hydrangeas. They are also hardy zones 5 through 9.
Yes.
But that is a crazy thing that they can really take the cold.
Yep.
Mountain hydrangeas.
Yes, so these two hydrangeas we're talking about were specifically developed to withstand the weather and temperatures in Michigan. So for those short seasons, they do well in those temperatures. And they're great hydrangeas. Again, they're called mountain hydrangeas because they're used to growing in the mountains and can withstand that type of temperature.
Yeah. So, you know, you'll have less of that, you know, of the buds freezing if you get a really, all of a sudden, that cold snap,
Yes,
especially like in
yes.
the beginning of spring that we're all scared of, you know?
Exactly.
So we're zone 7B, so that is perfect for us because we don't have to worry about that at all. What else can we say about it? Okay, so what I love about the lacecap varieties is that the lacecap flower, it's so open, so that attracts a lot of pollinators more than the other types of hydrangeas. And
they attract pollinators.
It's beautiful.
I mean, it's an open flower, so it's I mean, there's pollinators everywhere, and I've never seen a hydrangea more filled with pollinators than the lacecap variety.
We got to see we still seeing those little bees full of their little legs, their little pants of pollen.
Yeah. So
it's really cute.
So we do have both of them. Like Angie said, we have tiny tough stuff and we have tough stuff. So I'll let Angie talk about tiny tough stuff because she likes that one more.
So I love tiny tough stuff because of how small it is. And we'll be putting everything, you know, on here for you, the sizes and everything. It is not a big hydrangea for us we can be able to have it in our garden, which, you know, we have a small garden. So it's perfect for us to have in containers, in our container garden, you know, on this side of the fence.
Yep.
So the great thing about it too is how abundant it is in blooms.
Yes.
It fills itself completely. And the color is so pretty. I call it a very fairy tale like of color. It has very soft pinks and blues and purples and even that white, you know, it starts making way in there. Everything together blending so beautiful. It leans more towards the blue.
Yeah.
But, you know, it does give you those colors too. And another pretty thing about the flower is that as the blooms are, you know, blooming more and more, the blooms start to arch. The outer, you know, blooms, they start to arch and just looks so beautiful and elegant. It's just, it looks so delicate, but it's not.
Yeah, they're not. And that's the great thing about these lacecap hydrangeas and mountain hydrangeas. And like Angie was talking about the color. So with the tiny tough stuff that we got, I'm assuming it was in more acidic soil because it came more purple, more blue. And that's the thing about these mountain hydrangeas is you can change the color on them. The tough stuff that we got was a more pink. So it was in a more neutral soil, a more alkaline soil. And if you wanted to turn that blue like the little tiny tough stuff, then you'll add a soil acidifier to give it that bluish violet color that you're going to want in a hydrangea. So that's a great thing about these hydrangeas right here as well. And so tough stuff, like I said, we got it in a pink. It still has that open face floret as well. Looks beautiful. This one grows a bit bigger. I'm going to say 36 inches by 36 inches. Whereas tiny tough stuff is about 24 by 24. Mountain hydrangeas are some of the smallest hydrangeas you're going to find at full size. Unlike the macrophyllas that get a little bit bigger, paniculatas that get huge, and oak leaves as well. They're the more compact, natural growing hydrangeas that grow in the mountains.
They have very pretty shape as well.
Yeah, so definitely some great hydrangeas. They're smaller in leaf as well, so that's another good thing about these hydrangeas, that they're more compact and they look great in these containers here.
I'm loving so much the shape of tough stuff.
Yes.
Because it actually looks like it's planted in the ground. When we have it in a container, it has a mounding shape. So it's really pretty the way it's just, and it's
Yeah.
flowering all around. So that's really, really pretty. So let's talk about pruning. We really don't need to prune these because, like Ambrose was explaining, they don't, grow that much. But if for some reason, they need to be pruned, rule is right after they finish blooming. That's how we always do it with those, those hydrangeas that are old wood, and these are reblooming too. So
yes, so these grow on new and old wood, and like Angie said, you're not really gonna have to prune these at all. I mean, if you feel the need to, you just prune them as soon as they're done and they die back. But because they're so compact, they're only gonna grow max 36 inches. There's no need to prune it. It's gonna do the same thing next year. So what they do is on the old wood, they start to produce their buds like early this season. They start to produce buds on the old wood. And then because they're reblooming on new wood, they're going to bloom once more. So unlike the oak leaves like we talked about, and I know we won't forget in this video, it's a fertilization with these.
Yes.
So you do want to fertilize in the beginning of spring or late winter, depending on your zone. And then once those first blooms start to fade back a little bit, you're going to want to give it another application of fertilizer for those blooms that are going to show up on the new wood as well.
Yes. And I think very important, because they are rebloomers, I would wait until the last blooming that they do, and then go ahead and give them their pruning.
Correct.
That way nothing is cut off if they must be, pruned back. That's a great tip about the fertilizing.
Yes.
I just personally learned that this year. That's what Ambrose was telling me. We're having a chat about that ourselves.
Because there's so many new types of varieties of hydrangeas. I mean, you have the older macrophylla hydrangeas that, they bloom on their old wood, and just like oak leaves, once they're done, they're done. Paniculatas, they need one application of fertilizer because, I mean, you don't want to stimulate any more growth in something that's already blooming. It's going to do its thing. As long as you're watering it and that soil is good, it's going to perform the way it needs to. But a rebloomer, because it's growing on new wood after it blooms on the old wood, it's going to take up all that nutrient that's in the soil.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to replenish that for those new blooms that are coming up to look just as big and just as beautiful and colorful.
Yes. So what are we giving them?
So what we're doing is our first application was hollytone, obviously, because we want to give it that application of fertilizer they love acidic soil. So we want to give it that initial, shot of fertilizer with some slow release hollytone, which is going to continuously feed them throughout the season. And then for that next set of blooms that we have was we're going to go ahead and give it you can either give it some bloom tone or some flower tone. And we're going to do that by granular fertilizer as well and just put that in there. And as we water, that stuff goes in there and starts replenishing that soil and that plant.
Okay, so that's really good information, something that I learned myself this year too, which is always good to know. You always learn something new every year, all the time in the garden. So before we forget, lighting. I'm sorry we're jumping all over the place, and we're just doing it. Today we're like, it's a good day, it's not raining, let's go for it. Yeah. We didn't even get to write anything down. We're like, let's just do this before it starts raining again.
Yeah, definitely.
So lighting is very important, of course. As my way of seeing it is, as you go further up north, we're zone 7B here. As you start going further up north, they can take more sun.
Yes.
They need that so they can, produce more flower. As you start heading more south, they need protection from the hottest time of the day. For us here in zone 7B, we have them in the north side of our home. Mm-hmm. And they get all morning sun. Yeah. Full-blown morning sun, and they are happy as can be. And I always make sure that they get watered way before the sun even makes way out. I don't give them any time for them to show me any signs of stress whatsoever. It's just something that I've always it's done.
And I'll probably repeat this through every video. Hydrangeas are shallow-rooted plants. And I'm only repeating it because we're doing different hydrangeas, and you may have seen the first one, you may have not seen the first one, but they're very shallow-rooted plants. They need thorough watering. They don't want to sit in water, so they need very porous soil, very good draining soil that's going to drain completely through.
They like it moist,
but be able to be retained with some water, and then again, mulch is key. Having mulch in your hydrangea is going to be very beneficial to that hydrangea to be able to retain some of that water on the top layer, the first 3 to 4 inches of soil, because that's where they're going to get their nutrients and water. It's in the name, hydrangea. I mean, I can't remember where it comes from. It's Greek, but hydro. It needs water. They need water to survive.
So that's really it. Like we were saying, you know, we hope that these little hydrangea chats are of help. And, you know, we get somebody else out there obsessed with them to start growing them all over the place in their garden.
Definitely. Now, I mean, this is not just going to be for Peru and Winter's hydrangeas, obviously. We're covering each group so you know if you get a different mountain hydrangea from a different variety, different brand, whatever the case is, all the tips we're giving you are going to help with these hydrangeas, not just a Peru and Winter's variety, because all hydrangeas are pretty much going to be taking the same type of care. So that's our goal to do these videos, is for you to be able to bring a hydrangea into your home and your garden and be able to care for it and have it grow the way you know, we're having them grow here.
So I'm just very happy that we finally have these again. We're able to grow some of these beautiful mountain hydrangeas. And you know, we will be going ahead and showing you through the whole, you know, time what they're doing. I'm excited to see them rebloom again. So for sure, you know, we'll be coming back and showing.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's it. Talking about these two hydrangeas here.
So, yeah, like we were saying, we'll be coming back and, you know, showing you what's going on with them. The whole reblooming thing, you know, hopefully it happens for us and we can show you that. Yeah,
definitely. As always, you can stay up to date with this stuff on Instagram and Facebook, and of course here on YouTube, where we constantly do updates. You can see all these hydrangeas in our last tour, where we showed all the hydrangeas in full bloom and what their color was looking like. Because
we'll be taking pictures.
Yep, yeah, they absolutely look beautiful and they're gonna do great. But I think that's gonna do it, huh?
Yeah, that's it. So you want to see anything, you know, just go there. You'll be seeing every day something. Yep. So, what's going on with them.
Yeah, so that's going to do it, guys. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video if you love this content, help us get our channel out there a little bit more, and we would greatly appreciate it. But that's going to do it for the video, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one.